Listen, if you are an entrepreneur and you understand manifestation and law of attraction, but your business is still stuck at the same level, it's not more strategy, bro. It's not more consistency. It's not more effort. It is a self-concept issue. It is how you see yourself. It is the inner conversation about yourself and the things that you do and what you deeply believe. It is your inner conversation that you're having about yourself every day, about who you believe you are and what you're available to receive. That is just reflecting back to you in your business. In this video, I want to show you the subtle beliefs that entrepreneurs have that cap their growth and keep them from reaching that next level, even when it seems like you're doing everything right. The inner conversation that you have about yourself or with yourself is everything. That voice that speaks to you from within and you speak back doesn't mean that you're crazy. All right, everybody talks to themselves, and if you don't talk to yourself or you don't have that inner conversation with yourself, then are you even human? I used to wonder when I was younger, do people talk about, does everybody have this voice inside of them that just speaks, right? That talks shit sometimes, that tells you where to move, where to go. You know, I used to wonder that when I was a child, but now knowing what I know, right? Everybody has this voice. Everybody has inner guidance. Everybody has that voice inside of them that tells them what to do, where to go, you know, what do they think about themselves? What beliefs do they internalize and they confirm? That voice inside of you does all that, right? So to think, what is the thing that determines somebody being successful and the other person not? We all breathe the same air. We all bleed the same blood. We all have the same mind. What is the difference? The difference is what we say and what we think, what we believe. What do we believe about ourselves, or what do we believe about the world? That is the main thing that's keeping you capped at a certain level, is simply what you tell yourself. What is that inner conversation like? What is your self-concept? How do you see yourself? Who do you believe yourself to be, right? What do you believe that you're able to receive, right? Some people have a blockage inside of them of reaching new heights because they've never been there before. So some people are what they call fear of success, scared, not necessarily to do the things that's going to get them there, but they're scared to receive more than they've ever had before. And a lot of people, you know, if they do come into sudden success quickly, kind of like lottery winners, they haven't built the mindset yet to sustain that. So they end up just going back to the old identity, right? If you haven't built the mind up to handle the new identity, which is the more money, right? Which is the new relationship with the new partner that does everything that you could ever ask for, right? If you haven't built your mind up and built your identity up to handle that, you're gonna revert it, you're gonna lose it somehow, right? You're gonna spend all the money because you didn't build the mindset up to be able to handle that money. You're gonna say the wrong things to that partner, and you're gonna end up, you know, letting insecurities come in from the old identity, and then you're gonna scare them away. Things happen like that, right? Because what we tell ourselves and who we believe ourselves to be is everything. And if we want to change the results that we get out here, if we want to change the results in our business, then we need to change what we believe. We need to change what we believe is true about ourselves and who we believe that we are. And we have to change what we say to ourselves, the inner conversation of what we say to ourselves. Because when we say things and we feel things, those things get impressed on the conscious mind, which is the controller of everything. right? We don't consciously really control everything. We think we do, right? But whatever has been impressed whatever has been impressed on the subconscious mind, that's what's going to move you to do things unconsciously. You believe that you're doing things. You believe that you're doing things consciously because you thought about it, right? You thought about something and you're like, let me go right? But where did that thought come from? Where did the conscious thought come from? Thoughts come from somewhere. There is a power outside of us. Let's just call it space, in the air, God, right? That power flows into us based on how we perceive it, based on how we think of the world, based on what we believe about ourselves and the beliefs that we have about the world. We can take that power and we can do whatever we want to with it, right? But based on the frequency that we're on, we're going to be inspired to take certain actions, right? And we're going to think that we thought of these actions consciously. But what has actually happened is we're going to be inspired to take specific actions based on our programming, based on what already has been impressed on and in the subconscious mind. So the subconscious mind is the controller, right? But how do we control what we get inspired, what kind of actions we get inspired to take? That's going to be through our thoughts. That's going to be through our thoughts that we impress upon the subconscious mind with feeling, right? So in your business, if you're not reaching certain heights that you want to reach, if you're reaching ceilings and you can't seem to break past that, right? Logically, you're going to need to do more work. You're going to need to take more actions to get more customers. You're going to have to do more effort. You're going to have to reach out to more gurus and coaches and pay them so you can get the specific formula to use to progress, right? But as I told you in this video, I want to explain to you that it's not the more effort, it's not the more work. And I've been in that situation where I thought it was more work, it was more effort, right? If we listen to the gurus like the Grant Cardones and the Gary V's, and they tell you to just work harder, just do more, and just do more and just work harder. And I wouldn't say work harder, right? Because you can work hard, but that doesn't mean that you're working on the right things. Some of the hardest working people on earth are the least paid, right? So obviously you can work hard, but hard work isn't what determines success. And you need to do more work and do more effort, but the effort doesn't need to be physical. You can't change matter on the plane of matter. If that makes sense. All change starts in the mind, right? So if you're trying to change something, if you're trying to do something different, right, and you're looking at your current conditions in your life, and you're like, I gotta change this, right? And you're not going within first. You're just working with what you have out here. You're trying to change it. Every day, you're on a grind, a hustle, a struggle, trying to change your current situations or trying to change what you don't like. But it's not more physical effort that you need to do. All change starts in the mind, so you need to go within first. You need to go within first. You need to start in the mind. You have to create and see that change in the mind first before you actually will see it out here in reality. You must hold it in your hand first before you actually hold it in the physical. It's not more work, it's not more effort, right? It's not more grind. It is energy, it is attention, it is focus, but it's on the right things. And attention and focus, those are mental things. right? Those are mental capabilities. Will, intuition, you give yourself the right thoughts, thinking, right? The actions are going to come to you. You're going to be inspired. You're going to be guided. Once you're aligned, you are guided by a source that's greater than you. But you have to be aligned first. And if you're so worried about the outside world, trying to change conditions, struggling, stressing, worried, right? Your mind's gonna be so colluded that you're not gonna be able to focus on, you're not gonna be able to hear the divinity inside of you. You're not gonna be able to hear those actions that you need to take. Because you're gonna think that you're gonna think that you're just thinking, right? Your mind's just rambling. You're not gonna interpret that as guidance. You're gonna interpret it as just mental ramble. I hope it's not too noisy over here. I got wind, we got cars. You're gonna interpret that as just mental thinking, not as actual guidance. But when you're aligned, when you have coherence with your mind and your heart, when you have coherence with your mind and your heart, action becomes effortless. Because your subconscious is what moves you. And when you move and take actions from the subconscious or from what you're inspired to take, it's different. It hits differently. Now all of a sudden you have the energy to do the things. You have the determination to get things done and see them to completion. Right? When you start moving, in that way, things start flowing, things start working out, things start happening, goals start getting accomplished. You start reaching new heights because you've changed your thinking. And it all starts in the mind. You got to change your thinking first. If you need help with this is what I do. Reach out to me, send me a DM, links in the description. This is Robmillionaire, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all on the next one.